Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to AceGamesTV. I'm TheFOHN. I have another game for you here. This is a TVT between SlayerSMMA and EGPuma. I don't remember what tournament this was, it doesn't really matter. This is just a fun game that I thought was a little ridiculous. As we all know, Puma, or as for some reason Apollo calls him Puma. Puma, yes, pew pew. Less QQ, please. Apollo's accent is ridiculous. It's wonderful. But it's amazing that Total Biscuit actually doesn't have as bad of an accent as he does. His voice is just like... he's like a British Morgan Freeman. His voice is beautiful. And then there's SlayerSMMA, who most people consider the god of all terrans. He is ridiculously good. Recently he hasn't been as good as he was because he had an injury. I think he broke his arm, was it? And then afterwards, he just didn't have the same decision making that he used to have. I don't really know what happened. I don't see like, I guess he didn't play as much because of his broken arm, so that kind of like messed him up a little bit and got him out of the groove that he originally had. And Puma is taking a guess for his Rex. Interesting. Rather interesting. Laying down barracks about not too much later. MMA hasn't taken his gas yet. Knowing Puma, since he took a gas early, most likely a 1-1-1 build. Or it could be some really early Hellion pressure, but Puma has been known for his 1-1-1s. He's actually like taken or gone to the point of putting a bunker right here to ward off any scouts, to make it look like he early expanded instead of doing a 1-1-1, which is really clever, but it's annoying. 1-1-1s are ridiculous. I haven't really seen them much lately, though. They kind of fell off after people figured out how to beat them. Of course, that's what happens to most things. And MMA sees the factory, so he knows that there's some kind of ridiculous hyper-aggression coming. Since he knows Puma, he probably knows that it's a 1-1-1 and not a Marine Hellion attack. Or actually, it could even be like a Marauder Hellion attack, but that's usually only against Zerg. MMA is grabbing control of this tower so he knows when the attack's coming. And Puma kind of wants to get an idea. And MMA laying down the factory, that way he is able to hold off whatever aggression Puma wants to throw at him. Not really much else to say here, though, other than MMA did grab his second gas really early, actually. Maybe he's going to try and go into a 1-1-1 of his own to defend this. There's the starport from Puma, and it's going to be Banshees, because there's a tech lab right there. Puma hasn't taken his second gas, so he's mainly going to be Hellions coming out of here, I would imagine, since he won't have the gas income to support Banshees and Siege tanks. And MMA is ballsy enough to throw up another command center. Thinks that he can hold off Puma's 1-1-1, as it is his bread and butter. There's the starport from MMA, so he's going for a 1-1-1. That's kind of defensive, I guess, although there is a tech lab, so he may be getting Banshees as well. But I would imagine they're just going to leave that on there, get siege tanks, and then build a Viking or two out of this to ward off those Banshees. Puma's just kind of scouting around the map, trying to see if there's anything proxy near him right now. And what is this SCV doing over here? I think Puma's maybe going to be expanding himself. He hasn't really seen anything in the base of MMA. However, he does know that MMA saw the factory go down, so I would imagine that Puma assumes that MMA knows that the 1-1-1's coming. Now, Hellion and a couple of Marines are going to try and poke up here a little bit. But it should be warded off here in a second. Really, he can just poke at that all day and just take out that reactor. Although there is a tank there now, so it needs to get away. I don't think it has siege mode yet, though. Yeah, there is no siege mode on that tank, but it's still scary to think that there might actually be. Scan goes down, checking to see what's up over here. Puma getting the tech lab and another gas. That way he can make siege tanks of his own. Stopped making Banshees. I think he stopped at... oh, there's one. Yeah, he only got one Banshee. Only really needs one to pick off tanks, and if it's microed correctly, he shouldn't lose it. Another barracks going down for both sides. I'm gonna want to get out some more Marines and some upgrades on them, possibly Marauders since there are tanks out, but Marines will probably be the better choice here. And now MMA is actually getting an engineering bay, possibly just for a turret. That way he doesn't get backstabbed by any kind of Banshees. But, I mean, he has the Vikings already, so it could be for upgrades. Nothing really else to say, though. Not really any pressure going on right now. Banshee just kind of, or no, this isn't a Banshee. This is a Viking. Just kind of chilling over on the side to make sure that no Banshees come from that direction. I don't really like Banshees on this map, or Mutas, because just put like a turret right here and you can't really get to the mineral line effectively. It's not like Shattered Temple where Mutas are amazing. Oh my god. There's so much space for them to fly around, especially, and Banshees as well. There's just so much room for them to maneuver, it's ridiculous. Now, MMA is getting +1 and stim right now. So, the longer that Puma takes to kill MMA, or at least try to, the further he gets behind. Puma is getting his own stim, but MMA will have +1 attack, which is going to help out his Marines tremendously. And in fact, MMA has more Marines, but Puma has more tanks. And MMA still doesn't have siege mode. Puma just started his, but he's at least getting it. I wonder if MMA actually forgot to get his siege mode. I've noticed that a couple times, I've done this at least, when you try to get an upgrade, you're going so fast and like you're just in the zone, you just barely don't have enough that you hit it and you're like, okay, I got it, I'm gonna go do what I was doing next, but you didn't get it, but you thought you did, and it's a pain in the butt. This Banshee is in a little bit of danger, but it does look like it will get away, and 2 medevacs have just been loaded up. But at the same time, Puma is moving out. He wants to put on the aggression, but MMA wants to try and drop. Looks like we may just get into a base trade scenario, but Puma will outright win. He is going to have units at the base. He's got a tank and 3 racks producing Marines, so he should be just fine as long as he pulls SCVs. And Puma is pushing up into the natural, going straight after these SCVs. Let's go ahead and watch this, because this really determines how things go, and it is not looking good for MMA. He is getting ripped apart on this drop. Puma was ready for that. He knew it was coming. Some SCVs getting picked off, but nothing like what is happening in MMA's base right now. Siege tanks just ripping through everything, and there's just not a damn thing that MMA can do about that. GG, well played by Puma. That's what happens when a 1-1-1 goes into a macro game. It's so weird. 1-1-1s don't ever go to the macro games. Anyways, if you ever want a replay of yours casted, go ahead and send it to TheFOHNreplays@gmail.com. I will leave a link in the description for that. Also, if you like what you see here, you want to make any suggestions, leave a like and a comment, and subscribe here at AceGamesTV. I'm TheFOHN, and that'll be it for today.